Well, hi Tubers, hi, I'm back with 22 books 2022, and it's Sophie Kinsella, Love Your Life, Opposites Attract, Don't They? Okay, so let me just read the blurb. It's quite a long one actually, but right. Ava is sick of online dating. She's always trusted her own instincts over an algorithm anyway. This was a break from it all, so when she signs up for a semi-silent anonymous writing retreat in glorious Italy, love is the last thing on her mind. Until she meets a handsome stranger, all she knows is that he's funny, he's kind, and she soon learns he's great in bed. He's equally smitten, and after a whirlwind intoxicating affair, they pledge their love without even knowing each other's real names. But when they return home, reality hits. They're both driven mad by each other's weird quirks and annoying habits, from his eccentric naked-sauna-loving family to a terribly behaved shirt-shredding dog. As disaster follows disaster, it seems that while they love each other, they just can't love each other's lies. Can they overcome their differences to find one a life together? Okay, this book is kind of like a deconstruct of the magical pixie dream girl kind of archetype. Okay, Ava is, she's hip, she's kind of flowy, she's, vegetarian. Hey, that's cool, by the way. She has a insane dog who's a rescue, and she's, well, that's the thing. She states she's like a go with the flow kind of type. She's actually really not. Okay, it's really kind of destructionist kind of archetype. How in the real world, this kind of individual, how annoying they can be, and Ava is actually very, very annoying. Okay, right. Okay, but the thing is, okay, her love life is absolutely in the gutter. Okay, and this bit, she goes on this vitamin retreat, obviously to Italy. Okay, right, and straight away, okay, it's like, not her writing, it's something else. Okay, something else entirely. Right. Then we were individual, so individually ushered into this space and asked to remain silent. So I'm sitting with a group of utter strangers, we haven't exchanged a single word. There's a couple of shy smiles, 5 other women and 2 men. They're all older than me, apart from a thin, bony guy who looks to be in his 20s, and a girl who looks like she's a college student. Okay, right. It's all quite intense, quite strange. Although it's fairness, I knew it would be. I read a stack of online reviews before I booked this course. 9% of them described it as intense. Other words that cropped out were eccentric, immense, challenging, a lot of bloody nutters, also sublime and life changing. So it's right as a treat. She meets Dutch. Okay, he comes in. He calls himself Dutch, and she thinks that he's a carpenter. Okay, and they basically hook up. This whole kind of writing retreat, and I'll be honest, okay, in between, okay, the exploring, the writing, the vegetarian food, okay, you actually, get to see Ava's novel abilities, okay, right, and it sounds so ridiculous, okay, right, it's supposed to be set in Victorian England, okay, and this bit here, this is Chester, and okay, someone okay actually read a lot of Mills on Boone as part of a previous project. Even I, okay, would be like, okay, you're my wife, growled Chester, and they claim my rights. That's an outdated practice, snapped Clara, the fire of feminism in her eyes. I will see that in future generations, women will be equal. Shame passed over Charles's brow. You are right, he said. I will join the fight, Clara. Future years, I'll be a male suffragette. That's in an actual book that she's writing. That's not even a good job. I'll become a male suffragette. A male suffragette. Okay? But the thing is, Ava thinks that, this like magical dream girl pixie archetype. Okay? Right. And she thinks that he's a carpenter called Dutch. Okay? And because in Ava's mind, okay? Right. Right. Anyway, the truth is, I have a fair idea about Dutch already. I'm pretty intuitive, not psychic exactly, but I pick things up. I have sensitive radar. No, you don't. He's good with his hands, and he lifts up when I mention furniture at the beach. He loves design, and he wants a comment slip about being in the workshop. So putting all that together, I think he's a carpenter. Probably makes beautiful marquetry or something like that, and I think he might work with his dad. Okay? Right. And she thinks he's called John Luke. Okay? Right. And it turns out, no, he is in reality, okay, very, very wealthy, and is the chief operating officer with Toys Inc. brands Harriet House, Harriet Wells, and Harriet Friends. Yeah, basically, like Sylvanian families. Back in the day, I didn't have one of them, okay, because they were expensive and I didn't have any money. I had stuff that, right. So Imagine Sylvanian families, okay, or Hello Kitty, because this stuff is very popular in Japan. So imagine Hello Kitty, okay, right. And of course, I read the word Harriet's house. I realised it says doll's houses with the flat roof. Harriet is the doll with the red hair and the tartan skirt. Loads of my friends had one when I was a kid. Never had the house with a doll, but had a second-hand pony and a couple of Harriet's rabbits. Right. So global brand like Sylvania Families, okay, or Hello Kitty, and you know they can't deal with each other. He lives in a penthouse with his housemates. She lives in a absolute dump with her rescue furniture. Okay, right. Ava goes through skips trying to find rescue furniture and rescue Yuka. Okay, right. Right. She even says, "That's my rescue Yuka." I beam at him. Rescue Yuka? I found it in a skip. These people had just thrown it out. Go and have something indignant. A living plant. They shouldn't be allowed to have plants. So I thought, I'll give you a home, lovely. Okay. So in her house is rescue furniture. People she goes through skips finding rescue furniture. Our flat is just disarray, okay, of rescue furniture. Stuff that she's bought to fix up, like upscale, which is fine, okay? But the bed basically collapses, a chair collapses, it's falling apart. But in Ava's mind, she's so, I have to rescue this furniture. In her bookcases, she has bookcases from the 1940s in Czech, okay? Well, back then, okay, you know, it'd be Czechoslovakia, okay? Now it's the Czech Republic, okay? But she has books in Czech. She doesn't speak Czech, but it's a rescue book, okay? Could be the most boring book of all time, okay? But it's a rescue book. She rescued it from a skip, right? Okay, and in Ava's mind, okay, she's constructed in it. Well, she thought he was called John Luke, Dutch. Okay, all right, okay, and Matt. So yes, it's actually I forgot to call him. It's Matt. Okay, she thinks because at this writing retreat, okay, where there was no meat, all right, vegetarian, no, okay, so that shatters her illusion as well. Okay, she thinks they're perfect together. Okay, and the thing is, it wasn't even meant to be the writers' retreat. They just moved over due to like that one shut down, so they just moved over to the writers' one. Okay, right. I'm vegetarian. I said more shit than I intended. I thought you realised. I thought I swallow. I thought you were vegetarian. Me seemed astounded. Vegetarian. The monastery was vegetarian. I pointed out, trying to contain my agitation. I've never seen you eat vegetarian food. I know. I was like, it's only a week I was fired, but I tell last night I fell on a burger. And she kind of gets into her head, okay, well, fine. I'm going to turn him into the perfect boyfriend with my disobedient dog, Harold, who eats everything because he's not particularly that well trained. Okay, now someone actually has dogs in her life, okay. It's a whole kind of Harold was a rescue, okay. He went through a lot. Well, okay. One of my family's dogs was a rescue, and he's actually well behaved because we took time to actually teach him. Right, and he's a boxer, by the way. He's a big dog. Right. So it's how kind of well, I'm gonna turn you into the perfect boyfriend for me because we are perfect together. We're perfect together, and in this world, okay, her friends are a lot of them are absolute arseholes. Okay, they find out okay what he does for a living, and one of them sends him links every single day, saying okay how degrading and sexist and misogynist Harry's house the concept is. Okay, and her attitude is, I ask because if she like likes you, she does that kind of stuff. Okay, she likes to kind of square up to people. That's a sign of friendship. I find that so annoying. Okay, I mean, what do you reckon? Someone who works for Mattel has someone send them links every day saying, "Okay, this is how Barbie is degrading to women." Okay, God, imagine if you work for the Brat line. Can you imagine? So, right. And one thing I despise, I absolutely despise about Ava, is she has this mentality of with her rescue furniture and an eccentric flat. Okay, is she has this opinion. Oh, and she's like a writer. Okay, like a freelance writer. She has this thing. Okay, about how she's kind of go with the flow and all that. She is a nasty, judgmental woman. Absolutely hated her. Okay, this is when she's describing Matt's flatmate. Okay, right, right. Here we go. Right. His name's Topher. Well, I don't like to use the word ugly, but he's ugly. So ugly is almost comes full circle. His eyes are sunk into his face. His dark eyebrows are massive. His skin is bay. Yet somehow he's compelling. He radiates personality, even standing there all sweaty and in his sports shorts. Right. Yeah, she's dismissive, okay, about Matt's life, his flat, his apartment, his artwork, okay, right. And then has the absolute audacity later on to drop this line, okay, right. hmm However, being a fair-minded and unbiased person, which I definitely am, I say, whereas my life is quite straightforward and easy to learn, his is a torturous maze. Every time you think you're getting somewhere, you find yourself faced with a shocking great hedge, usually from his family business. Okay? Right, God, it's intrusive. How can one international toy company with presence in more than 143 countries be so intrusive? Right. So, and the thing is, um, Matt's family are overachievers. Okay, one of his grandparents was a female golfing champion. I'd love to hear about that, by the way. Can you imagine, being a female golfing champion? Okay, his family are ultra rich. He goes to visits Matt's house. Kind of, invades. Okay, and she's really evasive. Now you think some of the kids be very open and like open-minded. Okay, non-judgmental. Okay, but his family are all well-to-do and la-di-da, and really don't. They look down their nose at her. Okay, right. Okay, basically, they poor shame her. All right, they poor shame her. Right. Mhm. Right. And this is when, okay, that she said mentions about this thing. The doll's houses are out of this world. You must be showing me your amazing displays. They're stunning. I remember you said you didn't have a Harriet's house as a child. Elsa looks at me with cool appraisal. She's gonna hold us against me forever, isn't she? I would have loved one, I said earnestly, only we couldn't afford it. Right. Her face freezes slightly, and I once I realise my error. Now I sound like I'm saying her company is evil and elite with exploitative prices, which by the way it is. Okay? Right. So the family okay will kind of sweep in, it's kind of like, were you interested in that kind of stuff? And they sound absolutely unbearable. But one thing I found really interesting, okay, is I have a sauna. They had their own sauna, okay, because of Swedish heritage, that's what the Swedes do, okay? Right. And she freaks out the fact that in this sauna, which is theirs and they own, that they actually do sit naked. She's wearing a swimming costume, they sit naked, and she freaks out, which I thought was a bit of an overreaction, okay, to it. I mean, feel embarrassed, okay, or just leave, or or don't look, or whatever. But it's the whole kind of I'm biased and I'm open-minded, and I've made an excuse, but she just can't deal with their lifestyle. She just runs, and maybe she's using that as an excuse, okay? Because the thing is, when she tells her friends, okay, was that Matt's family in their own house was sitting in their own sauna and being absolutely naked, which is a Swedish thing, okay, or whatever. Even they're horrifying. I'm like, you're supposed to be open-minded and non-judgmental, Amy. You said so yourself. And also, when we meet Matt's ex-girlfriend, which is a thing Sophie Kinsella does. I need to point this out now. This is a thing she does. When it's like Rebecca Bloomwood in the Shopaholic series, when she meets her husband Luke, okay, ex-girlfriend, okay, they are nasty and judgmental and basically the opposite of the character. So, and it's kind of like, well, I'm the ex and we used to, and this kind of Harriet's house world again. You go to convention, it's like a kind of like a cult mentality. Hey, I've been to Comic Con, okay, so I can't really say anything. Can't be a hypocrite about that. And they're like loves Young Dream or some stupid things like that. And it's whole kind of I'm poison, I'm fabulous, and that kind of thing. Okay, and Ava just can't compete with the perfection. The same way, okay, that Rebecca Bloomwood, while she was pregnant with Luke's baby, compete with his ex, who was a doctor. Right, right. But the thing's eventually, okay, their lives just aren't running together and they eventually snap. And one thing I did like, okay, is when the fact is that Ava had been trying, okay, to turn Luke into the perfect boyfriend, like vegetarian food, introduce it to my friends. And he points out, okay, that she spends all her time on WhatsApping her friends, okay, to the point where it's kind of like, step away from your phone a little bit. Eventually they kind of snap and have it out with each other. I thought it was really, really refreshing, okay? He takes a magical pixie dream girl life and throws her back in her face. I thought it was quite beautiful, okay? Right. Right. Because this one, okay, Ava says, okay, about Luke's life because, not Luke, sorry, that's Shopaholic. Matt's life because he's not happy with his family's company. He's been kind of pushed into this role and wants to do something different, okay? Right. You don't take ownership of them, of yourself. You don't even look at them. Just go and put golf balls and hope they'll sort themselves out. But they won't. You need to sort your life out, Matt. You need to sort out your own life. This is when, okay, Matt's going over to Japan to work for his family's company. Right. Is that so? Is that so? You think I'm the only one who's sorted their life out? Right. I don't know where to start. Novel or homophobicals, rescue furniture, dog who won't do what he's told, unsafe windows, unpaid bills mixed in with I don't know what, horoscopes. Life is a mess. It's a bloody mess. My life's a what? Somehow, though, through my shock, my brain pierces together a reply. I have a portfolio career, I say in my most lacerating tones. It might be a challenge for you to comprehend, Matt. We expect you to understand how I live because you have a very closed mind. The only closed mind here, Matt's life is, he's forced into this role, okay, of working for his family's company, how it's housed, and wants something different. He's trying to find a leap. But, for Ava to just estimate that his mind's closed when hers is just as bad. She's just a hypocrite. I hated Ava. I absolutely hated her. And the bit, okay, right, is when Matt exposed at her, and it's wonderful, okay, right. Well, if it asked me, Ava, your mind's too bloody open, Matt exposes. Open every flotsam and jetsam piece of crap out there. You make a new plan every week, but you even want to achieve any one of these aims, you have to claim them first, then focus. Focus on one of them. Finish that Romy course. Find some clients and be that. You'll be great. Or do the podcast, or write your novel. Pick one and make it happen. To explain how impossible it is, stop making endless excuses, stop faffing about, and just do it. Right. So they have a row at each other, and they break up. And this is the one bit I don't like, okay, because this is a spoiler here. I'm gonna put spoilers in. Is that Ava goes back to the writing retreat. She decides to actually write that novel, and then it turns out the owner of the writing retreat is a publisher, and she's written a book about her dog, and it's she wants to publish it. I was like, no, it doesn't end with Ava writing a book and sending that off to publishers in the hope it'd be picked up or agents, or even to go into the search pile, in the hope that one of them will pull it out and make it a success. Not putting the hard graft I did of endless rejections. It's the convenience of, pluck it, I'm a publisher, but I don't tell anyone, okay? And I like what you've written, Ava. I want to publish your book, I want to represent, okay? Right. How convenient. I find that really, really kind of insulting in some kind of ways, Not it ends with Ava maybe getting back together with Matt. They do get back together and they make it work, okay? It's a whole kind of, from that moment, it becomes too easy for her, which I found really, really insulting. At some points, the fact is, when someone calls Ava out on her crap, I generally enjoyed. When they call each other out on the crap too, also very, very good. But this whole kind of, I found Ava so goddamn insufferable. She's nasty, judgmental, strict as a narcissist. It's a whole kind of, well, Dutch or Jean-Luc or sorry Matt wasn't the perfect boyfriend, so I'm gonna basically turn him into it. Okay? No. So love your life, Sophie Kinsella. Good in places, bad in places. Let me know what you think. Okay? Hey, nice to see the magical dream girl deconstructed. So anyway, sign off. 22 books 2022. Sign off. Bye now.